Yo, what is up? So in this tutorial, we're gonna go ahead and start adding some items. So we'll fill out our data table. Let me just find it here. So we'll fill out some of this stuff in the data table and then add some items into the world. So yeah, let's just hop into it. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna open up the Epic Marketplace and we're just gonna grab some stuff from the Infinity Blade weapons. Yeah, this thing right here. I'm gonna add this pack to the project like that. So let's go to our blueprints, data tables, item info, data table. We don't have anything in here right now, so we're gonna add a row. Just press the add up there, and now we'll go into our enums. Item names right here, and I'm just gonna, on this FPFlask, I'm gonna add tools dash FPFlask, and I'm gonna copy this name, and we're gonna go back to the data table, and I'm gonna hit F2. Click on this and hit F2, and you can change the name of it, and you're gonna paste that name in. So you want the name to be exactly what it is in the enum, because if it's not exactly the same, it'll just break. It won't work. So you want it to be exactly the same as what it is in the enum. So that's what we're gonna do there. For the item class, we need to go make it. So go to your blueprints, items, base item. We're gonna right click on it. We're gonna create a child blueprint class. So this will take in all the info from the parent, and then we can change some things about it as well. So we're going to call this HP or BP underscore HP Flask. So, Infinity Blade. So there is some. Let's see if they come with any, but if not, I'm going to share some files. Let's see, potion. Yeah, it comes with some potions in one of these Infinity Blade packs. You can use these if you want to. So, if you don't want to use these, I have some that I made. So I'm gonna go down to my do we have a models folder? No. So let's go on content. We're gonna make a folder called models. We're gonna open this guy up. So in our models folder, I'm gonna grab some potions that I made. Potions. So I will I'll share these in a file in the description if you want these. But I'm gonna use this guy right here, Souls Flask, that I made. I'm gonna import that, and let's see. There should be combined meshes. I'm gonna do that. That way, we just get one thing. So in here, I'm just gonna do a save all. Open this guy up, and I'm gonna add some materials to this. So we just need, ooh, actually maybe we shouldn't have combined meshes. Okay, so I'm gonna re-bring that in. Just delete this. No, delete it. Bring it back in. Turn off combined meshes. Open that up. That way, we get these two things separately, and I can give them different materials. So I'm just gonna pull this into the world, and I'm gonna go find some materials for it. So mega scans, what do we have already? Nothing for this, so I'm gonna right click, add Quixel content. I'm gonna look for brass. I'm gonna grab this guy, bring it in. I'm gonna drop the ORD down to 1024. Same with the metallic. I'm gonna bring that one down to 1024. Then I'm gonna go create a material instance of this. Go back to this guy right here. I'm gonna go back. Actually, let's go ahead and open both of these right here. And I'm just gonna add this brass right here. And add this brass right here. Yeah, like that. That way, those will look right. And now I'm gonna look for, go to content, I'm gonna search for glass. And actually, we should have opened our other one first. So let me just browse the asset here. I'm gonna pull all of these in so I know which one is which. And on the outside one, now I'm gonna go to content. I'm gonna look for glass. And get rid of that one there. I guess I didn't need to bring it in twice, but see, on the outside one, I'm just gonna give it this glass material. Yeah, that one. I'm just gonna give it a glass material. Then on the inside one, I'm gonna go up to content. I'm gonna look for water. And on this m_water ocean, I'm just gonna create a material instance. And I'm gonna call this HP or mi_HP liquid. And I'm just gonna look for HP liquid there. Open this guy up. And on that guy, I'm gonna give it the HP liquid. And we're just gonna change the color of this water base color to red. Like that. And you can mess with this other one if you want to. Kind of changes that highlight in it. If you want to. I'm gonna leave that alone though. So now, just gonna open this guy. Give it the HP liquid. Like that. Now we kind of end up with this kind of thing. I'm gonna click on this brass material that we got. I'm gonna open that guy. I'm just gonna make it a little darker. Like that. And now I'm gonna click on all of these cubes. I'm gonna go up to actor, merge actor settings. I'm gonna replace source actor, merge actors. Go down to our models. And I'm gonna call this HP Flask. Like that. And now we have an HP Flask. Now I'm just gonna make a new folder called HP Flask. I'm gonna bring all of this stuff in here. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these textures and materials. We don't need them. It's just gonna take up space. Now we only really have these. So now, in our models folder, I'm gonna make another folder called FPFlask. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this HP Flask, bring it to the FPFlask, copy it here. And then I'm just gonna rename this to FPFlask, open it up, and on the HP liquid, I'm just gonna duplicate this and call it FP liquid. FP liquid. I'm gonna bring that guy in. We're gonna open this guy up, and I'm gonna make it like a blue color. Like that. Yeah. So now we got an HP Flask and an FP Flask. So we go into our models, FP Flask. We got this guy now as well. So now we're gonna go to our blueprints, data tables, open this guy up. And on our HP Flask, actually base item HP Flask. Okay, so item class is gonna be our BP HP Flask, like that. And then item name is gonna be HP Flask. And for item image, we're gonna worry about this later. You can use icons that you have if you want, or you can make some. But we're gonna set up a system so that we can make our item icons. So in the next part, we'll be setting up a little blueprint where we can generate our own icons out of items that we have in the world. So for now, I'm just gonna browse the asset on this, and for the mesh, we're going to set it to be our HP Flask. Current stack, I'm going to set to 1. So generally, you just want to set all your current stacks to all the items to 1. That way it'll... you'll see later when we start picking up items and adding them to the inventory. But generally, you want to set everything to 1. At least 1. And then... so quick slot max stat, you can make this whatever you want. I'm just gonna set it to 99 for now, because easier to deal with. We're just gonna make them 99. You can make that whatever you want though. So item type, you would think consumable, but we're gonna actually, the way Elden Rings has their flask, they actually have it categorized as tools. So we're gonna set that to a tool, and then we can still give it consumable info down here. So you can, you probably don't want to do the price and sell value, because we're probably going to try to make these where you can't sell them. But yeah, so consumable type, we're going to set this to be HP. Potency, we'll set this to be like 200. Duration we'll set to 0. That's all we need to do for that one. So in our blueprints, items, HP Flask, right here, we need to go to base item, compile your base item. Something broken. First, oh, we need to fix that right there. Compile that. Now if you go to your HP Flask blueprint, you see that you have your item in there for the particle. We can just go and set the particle to be hidden. And now when you pull your HP Flask in the world, you see you got it. We can just delete that guy, and just so you can tell that it's working, in the event graph, we'll test this out on the FPFlask too, just to kind of show you how it works. We're gonna do a print string. We're gonna right click and we're gonna grab item info, get item info. We're gonna split struct and item name, plug that into the print string. And when you press play, it'll say HP Flask. That way you know that the right info is being passed across to the item. So we'll do the same thing for FP Flask when we set it up here. So an item data table, we're gonna add another one like that. We're gonna close that base item. Let's go to our enums, item names. So FP Flask, we're just gonna add that tools dash FP Flask. And we're gonna copy that, and we're gonna click on this, hit F2, paste that name in like that. So for item class, we need to go make our class. Let's go to your blueprints, items. Let's make a folder here. We're gonna make a folder called tools. we're gonna throw the flask into tools, and on base item, we're gonna create a child blueprint class. We're gonna call this BP underscore FP Flask, or yeah, FP Flask, like that. We're gonna open this guy up, and so we didn't have to do this on the last one because our default item name is HP Flask. But what we want to do on this one is, whenever you make a different item, you want to come up here to item name, and you want to set it to be the name of what your item is. And you see that the mesh went away when we changed the name, because we don't have anything set for that yet. So in the item class, we're going to set it to be BP FP class. In our data table, we're going to make the item name FP Flask. Item image we'll do later. Mesh, we're going to set it to be this guy. Just find this guy, set that guy in there. And then current stack we'll set to 1. Max stack we'll set to 99. 99. Item type we're going to set to tools. Price and sell value will leave how it is. Consumable type we'll set to FP. Potency would we set the HP 200. We'll set that to 200 for now. And that should be good. So now you bring your FP. Oh, that's models. Let's go find our blueprints. Items. FP Flask. You see you got that. Well, let's get rid of the particle. Go to item particle. We'll go to visibility. Set that to be hidden. Compile and save. And now, yeah, we got our flask in here. So you'll see we'll do the same thing we did before on the event graph. We'll do a print string. Plug that guy in. And we'll right click, get item info. We're going to right click on this, split struct, item info name, plug that in. And now when you press play, it should say FP Flask. So play it. See, it says FP Flask. That way you know the right info is being set to that item. Now we'll just get rid of that. Like that. We can close these down. And now the only other thing we're going to do is add these swords. So instead of iron sword, we're going to make this a wooden shield. Because we don't have any iron shields right now. So in the Infinity Blade stuff, it doesn't come with any shields. But we'll worry about that one last. We'll go ahead and add a... Let's go to our data table, open this guy up. We're going to add another row. Then we're going to go to our enums, item names. Right here on iron sword, we're going to call this weapons dash iron sword. We're going to copy that name. We're going to come over here, click on this row, and we're going to paste that name in. Weapons, iron sword, item class. We need to go make it. So blueprint, item. Let's throw our FP Flask into tools. So base item, we're going to right click, create child blueprint class. We're going to do BP underscore iron sword. We're going to open this guy up. And we can go ahead and change the item name to be weapons iron sword. You see that goes away. For now, I'm going to go ahead and set the particle to be hidden. And now in the item data table, we're going to set this to be BP iron sword. Item name, we'll just call iron sword. Item image, we'll worry about later. Mesh, we're gonna go find our Infinity Blade weapons. Weapons, blade, swords. And I'm gonna use this Blade Hero Sword 11. So if you wanted to, you could go down to equipment info and set the skeletal mesh of this, because these are actually skeletal meshes. But for me, for the weapons, I'm just gonna open this guy up. They have an option to just turn these into a static mesh. So if you come up here, you can click on make static mesh, and I'm just gonna bring this back into the Infinity Blade weapons, blade, swords, Hero Sword 11. I'm just gonna call it Iron Sword, or SM underscore Iron Sword static mesh Iron Sword, and save that there like that. And then back on the data table, I'm gonna come back up here to the mesh, and I'm gonna set the static mesh to be the Iron Sword. I'm gonna set the current stack to 1. Max stack for these to be 1. Item type to be melee armaments. Price, we'll set to 50. Sell value, we'll set to 40. Consumable, doesn't matter. Weapon info, we're gonna come down here, and we're gonna set it to be weapon type. We'll set it to be a straight sword. Scaling info, you set this to whatever you want, but I'm gonna set my first one strength. I'm gonna set my tier to, let's do D for that, scaling tier 1. And then our second one, I'm gonna set to dexterity, scaling tier E. Strength level required, we'll set that to be 9. Dexterity level required, we'll set that to 7. And then we can leave the rest of those to 0. Damage, you can set whatever damage you want it to have right here. I'm just gonna give it slash damage of 50, like that. Let's do 75. Slash damage of 75. And now go to your blueprints, items, Iron Sword. You see, we got our Iron Sword. Now we have a weapon. I'm gonna bring that FPFlask back in as well. So now all we need to do is add a shield. So there's some options for shields. So there's this pack called Free Fantasy Weapons pack that you can use. They have a shield in here if you want it. But for me, I have a shield that I modeled for my game, so I'm gonna use that one. So in models, I'm gonna make a new folder called shields, and I go to Blender models. Let me just find my weapons, shields, this guy right here, and I'm just gonna pull this guy in. I'll share the file for this one as well if you want it. So yeah, I got this guy that I'm gonna use. So I'm just gonna open him up, and I'm gonna go to, let's go to our Megascan surfaces. We need some new materials for this. So we need 3 materials. So let's go to Quixel content. First one's gonna be, let's just find us a leather. We're just gonna search for a leather. Surfaces leather, and I'm just gonna grab, let's grab this guy, or maybe not that guy. Let's grab one that, let's grab this guy. This one looks pretty good for like weapon type leather. I'm gonna grab this one, pull that guy in. I'm gonna go into the ORD, set the maximum texture size to 1024. And close that guy out. Now I'm just gonna create a material instance of this, set leather to be that. So that's just controlling this thing. where your hands go, right there. So now we need, let's do a save all right there. We need another material, which is going to be, let's go down to wood. I'm going to use, I'm going to use this wooden planks material. Just going to grab this one. I'm going to create a material instance of that. I'm going to go into the ORD, bring the maximum texture size down to 1024. And then right here, I'm going to set wooden planks to be the material. And now we need one more material. And this is going to be metal. And I'm going to find... where is it at? Brushed steel right here. I'm just going to use this. Add that one in there. I'm going to create a material instance of it. I'm going to open the ORD. I'm going to bring the texture size down to 1024. Then I'm going to go into the metallic. Bring that one down to 1024 as well. Then I'm going to set that material. I'm also going to enable nanite on this. Probably should do that on your sword as well. I'm going to close that guy down. So now we can go into our item data table. We're going to add one. And then we're just going to go up to our blueprints, enums, item names. I'm just going to add a dash here. We're going to add shields, dash, wooden shield. I'm going to copy that name, and I'm going to click on this, hit F2, and paste that name. So something we're probably going to want to do here, something I noticed in my test, is in our item types, or not item types, or is it an item type? Let me see. Yeah, we have shields in here. Let me see. Yeah, item type. We'll wanna change this to shields. Like that. Okay, so now we need to go make our class. So go to blueprints, items. Base item, we're gonna create a child blueprint class. This is gonna be BP underscore wooden shield. We're gonna open that guy up. We're gonna change it to be our shields wooden shield. For now, I'm gonna go into the item particle, set the visibility to be hidden, like that. And now go back to the data table. We're gonna set that to be our BP wooden shield. Item name, I'm just gonna call it wooden shield. Item image we'll worry about later. Mesh, I'm gonna use our shield mesh, like that. Current stack, I'm gonna set to 1. Max stack, I'm gonna set to 1. Price, I'll set to 50. Sell value, I'll set to 40. Consumable type doesn't matter. Weapon info. So right here, this is where I noticed. So on scaling type, just to kind of simplify this. So in our weapon info, we don't have anything setting a shield. So in our blueprints, enums, in our weapon type E, I'm gonna add an enum called shield, like that. That way, in our data table, we can set our weapon type to be a shield, and we can set right here on damage. We'll use this to control how much damage the shield will block. So for me, I'm just gonna set it to be 50 on all of these. Just keep it simple. You can set it to whatever you want. Like that. And now that we changed something in the enum, you probably want to go into your blueprints items, base item. See, this isn't compiled anymore. You're going to want to compile your base item again. And maybe even your other ones. Yeah, looks like mostly your base item. So now, I'm going to delete that, pull the wooden shield in, and now you see we have a wooden shield. So, yeah, we've got a few items to get started. And, yeah, I think we're good to go. Should be good to go. So for now, we're just going to call it here for this one. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're new around here, definitely subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know those down in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.